And it seems like there's an activism going on the part of the press that's almost connected to the resistance movement.
Well, we used to have an American press, a press that actually brought us together during World War II, and a press that when things happened to America, we took them personally. When the president made an address like he did after Pearl Harbor, December 7th, 1941, you actually had a president who brought the people together. Now we have a leftist, Marxist, progressive narrative that is being pushed by activists who they've got a simple agenda. And look, they've been pushing this for a long time. Reagan warned us in '61 about Obamacare, okay? He called it something else, but he said this is one of those things where they will push in. It's a Trojan horse for socialism, and once it's here, you can never get rid of it. And we're watching the struggles of a so-called Republican Congress and a Republican president who made this a campaign promise. But it goes a lot deeper. When you see what's happening now with illegal immigration, borders, rule of law, sovereignty, if you believe in any of those things, if you believe that America is a country, if you believe its borders ought to be sovereign, if you believe the rule of law ought to be enforced, you are now being labeled a white nationalist. Or if you go to a rally with a bunch of people who believe that way, which used to be called the Tea Party, which before that was called the Republican Party, you're now being called a white separatist or a white supremacist. And there are a handful of those people out there. But what the left knows is if they can label everybody a white supremacist or a racist and have it gain traction, it will shut down any kind of resistance. And there's a tremendous resistance among the people who are upset over the failure to enforce our laws when it comes to illegal immigration. But man, when it comes to guns, they're all over it. They're willing to lay your guns out in the street and turn you into a criminal and cart you off to jail and hold you to the letter of the law. But when somebody comes into the country and commits crime after crime after crime to the point of rape, murder, robbery, whatever, they don't really care until it's so bad that they're forced to act, and then they only act in ways that are symbolic.
This vilifying of President Trump and anyone who supports him is essentially by proxy. Anyone who's a Trump supporter is now. It seems like an official division within the culture.
It's a natural byproduct. It is the end result of cultural Marxism. You see,
would you describe what is cultural?
It's very simple. If I determine and first of all, I got to control the language, and then I control the levers of culture. The levers of culture are the schools, which are now indoctrination centers, the media, both entertainment and news, and then music, which is a very powerful force in which, politics are way downstream from all that culture. But here's the thing. You see, if I decide to dehumanize a certain classification of people, i.e. Trump supporters, and call them all kinds of names that people are terrified to be called, politicians are very sensitive to labels. And so all of a sudden you have everybody running for the hills. And we watched this. We watched the difference between legal and illegal immigration be erased. We have watched to where if you say illegal alien, you are considered some kind of troglodyte or subhuman character. And so I think we need to be aware of what's going on, and we need to always be asking questions, and we need to push back, and we need to use ridicule and use the Alinsky rules that have been used against us. Trump does that very well. He's the one who said, "Hey, that's a stupid question. Ask me a better one." He's the one that said "crooked Hillary." He used these simple terms of derision and ridicule and mockery against the mockers. And they're not used to it. They're used to people just kowtowing and running away from them in fear.
With people like Bill Maher, Jon Stewart, Trevor Noah, Larry Wilmore, who have used this vilification through humor and insult, Samantha Bee and John Oliver, who's there on the side of conservative Republican thinkers?
I don't know. There really isn't anybody, and that's a good question. To wit, we do have Bill Whittle. I'll give you that. He is witty. He is funny, and but he needs a bigger platform. We need people like that. But the bottom line is they control that aspect of the culture at this point. We've got to go back and push back on every lever that we can. We've got to take back the language at the very least. But all we seem to do on the right is concern ourselves with politics and who we're electing, rather than looking at the larger cultural phenomenon by which we have lost our country. And we lost our country because we lost our culture. Anyway, thank you.